Well, I'm here. Welcome back to my channel, and if you've never been here before, well, you're here now too. Good for you. Sorry in advance. It's a new year. It's a new... I don't know, it's pretty much just a new year. I know I said I would be back on January 3rd. Well, as it turns out, I'm a
fucking liar.
And also, it's January 5th. And like I always say, January 5th and January 3rd, they're the same because time is a social construct. Chill out. Content's gonna get more regular here. And for that, I'm also sorry. So I thought I would kick off the brand new year with a new segment on my channel that I like to call Whatcha Doin? Today we're gonna start with the one, the only Gabbie Hannah. If you've been here for a while, are you subscribed yet? First of all, make sure you subscribe. Second of all, if you've been here before, you know that I touch on Gabbie Hannah quite a bit, and it's kind of why I came back to make videos on this channel. I wouldn't necessarily call what I do commentary. It's a little bit more, I have opinions, which I suppose. Let's not get into semantics. I find Gabbie Hannah interesting, kind of fascinating, very frustrating, a little frightening, and I'd rather not in the scheme of things, but I have opinions and I don't have friends in life who like to talk about the internet because they have lives outside of their children. So here I am. Anyway, so I thought we would start this new segment with a little Gabbie Hannah. Over the holiday break, the greatest vocalist of our time dropped a couple of TikToks that made me go, what you doing? So Gabbie made a TikTok about 2020. You know, who fucking didn't? I didn't, but I'm sure a lot of people did, and a lot of people have posted about it because 2020, excuse you, this is how we're gonna start the year? 2020 was a rough year for everybody. Maybe not personally, maybe personally, but overall it was a weird fucking year. I don't have to tell you this. You know this. If you were alive this year, you know. My kids are 3 and they know. The flippant way that this TikTok is presented is, I think, what a lot of people took issue with. There are a lot of very serious issues or a lot of very serious moments kind of being made into sort of a lighthearted joke, which I guess is not inherently bad because that's what comedy's for. But she's no longer an aspiring comedian, she's a musician. So
Stay in your lane.
20, it's been one hell of a year. There's too many tragedies to list here, but I guess I'll try. Between losing Kobe, killer bees, and fighting racists in the street.
like half of those things were already things before 2020. Like I feel like the tone deafness of this TikTok comes from like, you just picked a bunch of stuff that rhymed. And I can tell because you said killer bees when they were murder hornets. I feel like you could have found a rhyme for murder hornets, or at least a clever wordplay in there somewhere, because you're a 2-time New York Times best-selling author, poet, even at that. You'd think murder hornet, even a slant rhyme. And it's not that big of a deal to say like killer bees versus murder hornets because everybody knows what you meant, right? It's just taking sort of an artistic liberty. But I don't know, if you're the point of your TikTok or video or song, whatever it is, this isn't a Gabbie Hannah exclusive. This is just me nitpicking. If you're going to make an itemized list of like, this was all the ways this year was so fucked up, if you're really gonna sit and itemize that, you should probably do it accurately.
The world is riddled with disease and fucking human trafficking.
Also, human trafficking, not new to 2020. Just because you bought into the thing where they thought people were selling kids in trunks or cabinets on Wayfair doesn't mean that human trafficking just came to light this year. It's been a problem for a long time.
President can't stop fighting literally everybody.
Okay, and Donald Trump being a terrible person, it's still not a 2020 thing. He's been there for 4 years now, so I
Genocide in Armenia.
there was a lot of praise in her comments about mentioning Armenia, And sincerely, I genuinely, and this is my opinion, but I feel like she needed a rhyme. Even a slant rhyme, because media in Armenia, not quite there. I felt like she needed a rhyme and Googled all the shit that happened in 2020. I hadn't prior seen her mention anything about what's happening in Armenia. Hell, she even posted about Black Lives Matter for what, a week? While it's good to bring eyes to a certain situation, I would never fault anybody for doing that. It's also really important to I don't know, follow through so it's not just performative activism. Just spitballing.
Lots of lies in the media, fires in California, and even more in Australia. Broken royal family, fuck you, Harvey Weinstein.
Fuck you, Harvey Weinstein, now that he's in prison.
Explosions in Lebanon, and all the toilet paper's gone.
This singing in this TikTok is so fucking painfully pitchy and off key. Any key, all the keys ever.
Let's hope 2021 will be better.
I hate it. I actually enjoy Gabbie's music a lot more than I like to admit. And I
Hated it.
I'm like a noise trigger person, and it triggered me a lot. I hated it. And it was corny. Sorry. I felt like at the end of that TikTok, I was watching somebody's mom, when you're in school, and she made a thing, and you have to pretend to laugh at it because you don't want to hurt her feelings, because you were raised to respect your elders and have manners, you know? It felt like that moment. And I'm pretty fucking corny. Yikes. Now let's look at the comments to find out, Gabbie, Hanna,
What you doing?
look at all this personal growth. We're right here, ma'am. We're right here. We haven't disappeared. Oh, look, more growth. Great. She's 29 fucking years old. Super. It's just so nice to see growth and maturity where there was once aggressive, petulant, childish behavior. Anyway, let's go on to the second TikTok that made me ask, hey Gabbie, Hanna,
What you doing?
Like this all the time on my posts and other people's posts, so I'm gonna answer for myself. I don't know if this is true for everyone, but for me, I always wanted to be an entertainer. I always wanted to be a performer. I always had dreams of being a musician.
oh, hold on. I feel like, Miss Hanna, I feel like you're misunderstanding the I feel like you're misunderstanding. Miss Hanna, I feel like you're, I feel like you might be, misinterpreting the question.
When I was a kid, I would dance in front of my mirror. I would write songs in my notebook, but I grew up without money, without any connections in a very small town in Pennsylvania. So
Oh yeah, she's definitely misunderstanding the question.
to me, it was never even a possibility to do those things.
She thinks it's about why people put out music when they're not technically part of the music industry. That wasn't the question.
So then once I got the opportunity,
It's not about opportunity. The question is about ability.
I decided to follow all of my dreams and seize the moment. Now, I think that there's probably some people who do kind of just say, okay, I have followers, I can sell music. But I think that a lot of people on social media already wanted to be actors, dancers, and singers, but they didn't have the opportunity. And that's why social media is so amazing, is you don't have to wait for somebody to tell you you're good enough anymore.
No, you don't have to wait for someone to say you're good before you can have a career in entertainment thanks to social media. That also doesn't mean that anyone who croaks out a shitty cover of Shallow is a singer.
You can just fucking do it. So it's not that they got followers and all of a sudden they think they're a singer. They already wanted to be a singer and then had the opportunity.
You see, here's the thing. The music industry, while very corrupt, often vile, and scummy as fuck, they have standards. And, you know, while art in and of itself is subjective, there are still qualifications that need to be met. It's kind of like any job, you know? You're probably not going to get a job as an accountant if you can't identify numbers. You know, like a chef who only cooks meals in a 500-degree oven for 6 hours probably isn't a very successful chef because he probably burns everything, including the restaurant. No, you don't need to wait for a label to find you and tell you that you're good. But again, that isn't the question. There's so much to be said for quality, technique, honing your abilities and skills. Also,
That was not the question.
you know what? I wanted to be a comedian my whole life. So you know what I did? I took fucking classes. I went to school for it. Seized the opportunity to study it from the age of 14. Took every opportunity to get on stage and practice and hone my craft. I studied and did improv at Second City and IO independently to hone the art of improvisation and comedy and timing. I didn't walk in to Second City or IO with no experience and say, I'm here. I feel like I'm good enough. I've always wanted this. This job is mine now. What's with YouTubers who think they can sing, and why do YouTubers turn to singing? Two different questions. And you answered the wrong one, so that begs me to ask,
What you doing?
the catty tone you took at the beginning of the TikTok leads me to believe that you know you answered that question wrong. That question was about ability. It wasn't about how to. So these TikToks both read confusing to me. This concludes the first segment of
What you doing?
Let me know in the comments what you thought of Gabbie's TikToks. If you thought anything. Am I nitpicking? Am I being a bitch? Probably. It's my natural resting existence. Our next segment is going to be about Amanda Ensing, so fucking hold on to your titties, because it's gonna be... I'm gonna yell a lot. I can feel it. God help us all, pun intended. Am I right? Oh, jeez. Please like and subscribe if you dug this. If you didn't, whatever, get the hell out of here. Go watch something else. I make new videos whenever I feel like it. I'm close to coming up with a schedule, but the schedule depends on what's going on in the world and what I feel like talking about. So I'm gonna aim for a 2-upload-a-week schedule. Is anyone still watching? I was gonna talk into the ether for a hot second. I plan on doing 2 uploads a week for the foreseeable future. Whether or not that pans out, please don't hold me to it. I'm not good at schedules. I also have toddlers, so, you know, I got stuff to do. Turn on notifications if you feel like getting annoying notifications every time you just cleared a notification, because that's how YouTube works. That's the true YouTube algorithm, is that the minute you clear your notifications, you get a notification. I'll see you in the next one.